2222.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
The Mill Coffee and Tea inside our 93.7 The Ticket studio is now open 7 days a week. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, you can enjoy burritos, cinnamon rolls, fresh brewed coffee, delicious tea, or even their coffee and cream ale. Sold exclusively at the Ticket Mill location. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends, right here at 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, there's a sale for ticket listeners only. If you say Go Big Red, you'll get all-natural pork loin back ribs for just $1.99 per pound with a limit of 2 racks. That's at Fairway Meat Market for the ticket listener sale, now through January 21st in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back here live to the Niko Project, live here every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. We got a lot of coverage to talk about today with the NFL games going on last night to the NFL games going on today, to the Super Bowl coming up here within this next month. And so the year of 2024 is already flying by. We're entering the third week of 2024 tomorrow with Monday. College is starting back up. The weather's finally heating up a little bit compared to what it's been in these past few days from, negative 16 to 0 to 1 to today when it's a nice little 26, 27 degrees. It feels like summer in my eyes. So let's go ahead and kick things off with that Packers and 49ers game last night. I got to say, Jordan Love, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, so it pains me to say this, but Jordan Love has been looking sensational throughout this playoff run. The way he handled one against the Chicago Bears with the Bears having one of the best defenses was pretty crazy as a Bears fan. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then the way he handled business against, what was their name again, Harrison?
Against the 49ers or
before the 49ers?
Cowboys?
But against the Cowboys. That was just crazy for them to put up around like 48, 49 points, especially with him being under 25 years old. that you definitely saw a lot of Rodgers in him, a little bit of Favre. I don't know how the Packers keep on drafting these generational quarterbacks, but last night he put up one heck of a fight against the Niners, but the Niners obviously pulled away with it. And so one thing that me and Harrison were talking about here, I asked him as soon as I walked into the office today was, is the NFL rigged? And he says, no, I think the chain gang has just been a little messed up lately. Harrison, what do you take on that?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys were watching the NFL playoffs, there's been numerous times. Like, I don't know what it is with the chain gang, why we can't just get a chip in the ball. But numerous times they have failed to what I believe has been a good marker. I think it was the Texans game. He definitely got the first down. They mark it 2 yards short of the first. We saw it yesterday's game, 49ers Packers. It's just been, I don't know why they can't just get a chip in the ball at this point. It seems bizarre having the chain gang run, out to the middle of the field, or if it's all the way across the field. Yeah, I get it. You pick a hash and you just get that hash on the other side of the field, but you're still going off of what is the rough initial spot.
100%.
So it doesn't, the chain gang, I don't understand why. There's certain times too. I don't know if you've noticed this, like they don't get the chain all the way tight.
Right.
Just like small things. And we've had moments where we've had to use, a little credit card to see if it's close enough. Like it's not that hard. The league makes so much money. I don't understand the need for the chain still. Like
listen, it's the game of inches. I mean, you go back in time to that 2002, 2001 Super Bowl, Warren Moon. I mean, they were 1 yard away from being Super Bowl champions back then. And then, even a few times this season, sometimes the refs, I can't tell if it's the refs or I can't tell if the chain gang, it's almost as if they're not there. Because what we see on TV, we can obviously see something short, and then the ref is going to point his hand, first down. And, even last night too, when the Packers, they were within the 49ers 20. And Jordan Love, he had that quarterback sneak, and you could obviously tell that he made it. It wasn't very close, but he made it. He got over, and they called a turnover on downs just because of the chain gang. And so you mentioned this chip in the ball. How do you think that would work, and where'd you come up with this idea?
Well, I mean, they just do it. You ever see in tennis?
No, I haven't.
Well, they can basically have the ball and show exactly where if it hit the line or not, and they can just quick break it down. And yeah, it's just a little tracker in there. I mean, we have the first yard markers on TV. We understand here's the spot. Okay, 10 yards from here. I don't think it'd be that hard to set up a chip.
Right.
You just have to set it up along underneath the field as well. Some indicators, but a league that makes that much money.
Yeah,
it's definitely possible.
You easily could do that, right? Should have set in every single first down marker or even every hash. I mean, I guarantee you can do that. Would you put the chip on both ends of the football or just dead center in the middle?
You just put it dead center in the middle and just have it understand the actual dimensions of the football.
Right.
Because all the footballs are going to have the exact same dimensions. So just program it for that.
And then do you take away the first down marker holders at that point, or do you keep them in the game, but just don't bring them out for, 4th and 1 situations or anything where it could even be close? Just leave the AI. Let AI do its job in that manner.
I think you just use the chain gang, and then for those close situations, use the technology.
Right.
Because you want to keep the game moving along. So, I think if it's absolutely necessary, you can bring the chain gang out there, but I think you keep them just as the first few years, see how it actually goes.
Right.
Make sure it's actually going to work.
I don't know, with AI and everything and the way that technology is moving, I definitely think that you do have to innovate. I mean, we already added an extra game within the NFL season, and so all the records and history books are going to be rewritten now because of that extra game. And so I don't think it would be too much of a hassle to add those chips within the game as well. And what do you think about helmets? I know I was reading something the other day about helmets being able to what was the thing that I read? I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but we wanted to add something like crazy to helmets, almost like a computer inside like a QB's helmets for them to actually see the plays that they're about to run. What do you think about stuff like that? Is that too much? Is that overdoing it?
Yeah, I feel like we're just making it so much harder than it needs to be now. I was like, let's keep it a little old school. Just coach. That's it. Yeah, I mean, that stuff like cool, but I don't want to get to a point where we're having to control the technology too. Like, what's an advantage? What's a disadvantage? Just keep it simple. Like, no, I'm saying no to that. We're not doing anything like that with the helmets. It's like make them safer, and that's the only thing we need to be concerned about. But just keep football. We don't need a full on. Here's what the play is going to look like on like a little screen in front of your eye. Like, I don't want. If that's what we're talking about, I don't want that.
Speaking of football and different players and stuff like that, I read something on social media of Antonio Brown. And if you guys don't know what Antonio Brown's been up to lately, he's been a riot on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, everything. He retweets whatever's on his mind at the moment. He really doesn't look things through. And it was funny because one of the Raiders players, I forgot his name, but he's out there as well. Him and Antonio Brown wanted to create something called a CTE podcast. And basically, because they don't believe in CTE, they don't think it's real. And so they're going to have a podcast and just talk about everything and anything that goes. What are your thoughts on this podcast? And do you believe that CTE is real?
Yeah, it's definitely real. Like, I don't need a lot of research. I mean, That's a terrible idea for a podcast.
I think a lot of people will watch. I was looking at all the comments, and everyone in there said I would pay good money to listen to whatever those two guys got to talk about.
I think people would watch. I think it'd be wildly irresponsible. Wildly. Like, go look at any of the videos of old boxers and say that's not real.
Right.
Like, come on. There's so much evidence out there. Like, yeah, people would go watch, not because they think you're super right. Some of them might think you're correct, and they'll go do stupid things. Podcast, people would go listen to it more for how insane it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously there's so much research. It's very real. Like, the NFL isn't spending millions of dollars on this because it's made up. Like, AB's a little off kilter already. We've seen it many a times.
I just think that us as a community, NFL fans, we do not get to see what the inside of an NFL locker room looks like. We don't get to see all the personalities. We get to see them on the field doing the touchdown celebrations, post-game interviews. We get to see all the cool videos when they do collaborations or go out into public and do all these publicity stunts. But we never get to see the true reality of what it's like inside of the locker room. And so I think that them starting that podcast would be the unauthentic cut of what things would look like, post NFL. Like, how's your life looking? How are things going on? Because do you think that CTE is only accumulated during the NFL years, or do you think that even with little kids too? Because I know that California, they're currently in an attempt to completely cut out little kid tackle football, all in general. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think you catch that young, or do you think that doesn't come until you start taking the harder hits at the college and NFL level?
It doesn't matter. It just all depends how you get hit, right? Like, if your brain, if it smacks hard enough, like, it can actually have hormonal changes. Right? And that's why you see people, if they have CTE, you might see them like, why is he crying? Like, he just got hit. Like, they're crying because it really rattles your brain a lot. It shakes a lot of things up. It essentially, I don't want to say rewire, but for lack of better terms, it can rewire things. So yeah, at any level, it can completely change. It can change your personality. So you do got to be careful with it. Banning football, Pee-wee, those are lesser hits. You're not taking extreme hits. You keep an eye on it, but no, you don't need to ban it. I mean, parents they can decide if their kids are going to go play football or not, but it's definitely real. It doesn't matter when it is. Like, it can definitely change who you are and who you're going to be if you don't take care of it. And if you don't get it recognized, like, that'd be the thing for Pee-wee football. Maybe just be more careful about it.
Right.
If you see a hit, maybe just go ahead and pull him out anyways, even if he seems like he's fine. It's Pee-wee football. Not that big of a deal if he has the rest to play. So yeah, when it comes to CTE, just think we're going to find out more and more as it goes on. And they're already kind of looking at brain signals more, saying like, what does that actually look like when your brain gets rocked? It can lead to changes in behavior. You see the mood swings, you see people get angry. They'll cry after a really big hit. Not because they want to, because they can't help it. Their brain just got rattled so hard. So yeah, when it comes to like the little league stuff, you don't need to ban football. Just be more cautious about it. Just understand what it is. And yeah, it's going to happen at any level. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be 60, you could be 10. You can get CTE.
Yeah. It's very sad because you're only able to tell if a person has CTE once they're dead. Because that's the only way. They take your brain out and then they look. Like, obviously, you can see a whole. I'm not sure if you saw the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix, but they saw like a massive case of CTE with his brain and all those things that he went through. And it's honestly just sad because you cannot tell. I mean, you can speculate a little bit while the person's alive. You can tell who they were, 10 years ago, and then 10 years after they play football. And you can obviously tell there's a difference in their personality, how they're going about life. And so you cannot tell until, they're obviously gone and it's too late. And so the NFL catching a loss. A lot of the early 2000s players and 2010 players, they suffered the worst of it. And obviously now we're changing the game. And a lot of the old heads now are saying football's not the same. I think it's a good thing that it's not the same. Obviously, it's not the same intensity. You can't be hitting people like Ray Lewis out there, but at the same time, too, I mean, it still keeps things interesting. But even then, we're still not even able to protect the players as much as you want to. Too many people are still out there getting slammed. I mean, obviously, you've seen Tua within the past 2-3 years. I mean, that one play where he got slammed onto the ground and his fingers were all cracked backwards and he's stuck in a pose and they're trying to rehabilitate him. I mean, it's a scary game out there, but I mean, that's why they get paid the millions. And I know me and you are always talking about NIL and all these NFL players signing these huge contracts, but I mean, they know what they're signing up for when they sign those numbers, when they go to the combine, when they chase their NFL dream, that there is a risk associated with that.
Yeah, it's football. It's a dangerous game.
Right.
It's pretty obvious. We can make it safer. We can try to make it safer. You like the things they're doing with targeting, eliminating the helmet-to-helmet contact. There's certain things with wide receivers. I do think the game's a little too soft. It is moving, but when it comes to the helmet, I don't got any problems with the targeting stuff. But yeah, it is football. All right, it's never going to be the safe game where no one gets hurt.
100%.
But people are always going to get hurt in football. So to try to keep pegging this square into this round hole to make it as safe as possible. We're not going to freak out where a quarterback gets a concussion like all year long. Oh my God, is Tua going to be okay? Is Tua going to be okay? Tua's playing the game. He understands the risk. We don't got to worry for Tua. Like, just let him play the game.
Right.
He understands the risk. They got better equipment now. They got better safety management. Like, the game's never gonna not have horrific, sad injuries. Like the DeMar Hamlin thing, as scary as it was, we hope it never happens again, but it might happen again.
Right.
And that's football. And if we love watching it, you can't complain about some of those possible outcomes. I mean, you got just units of men going full speed at each other. So yeah, bad things are going to happen at times. Just don't over panic. I think we saw that in some of the rules when targeting. I think it was a good lean. Just don't keep leaning into it a little too much, which when it comes to the receivers, you hear Tom Brady talking about kind of wanting his guys to be able to get hit. That way it makes quarterbacks more pressure on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agree with him there. I think that as a quarterback, that should be on you, not necessarily the refs. But again, that's me maybe a little too old school. But I just do think we've gotten to this point where we try to make this game so damn safe, and it's football. It's never going to be no one gets hurt, everyone's healthy to go every season.
Yeah.
Bad things happen.
Bad things happen, and that's just football. That's just football in general. And so, with this upcoming Super Bowl and how things are going, I mean, what is your dream Super Bowl that you would want to see? Who is your AFC and who is your NFC going head to head in about 3-4 weeks at Super Bowl inside of Las Vegas?
Oh, man. I think out of all the teams left, I'm probably pulling for the Bills.
Really?
Yeah.
Bills Mafia.
Bills Ravens.
Bills Ravens.
That's the one.
That'd be a nice Super Bowl. I think the Bills definitely deserve to get back into the Super Bowl. But man, I don't know what it's been, but I feel like the Niners have been so close every single year. But it's for so many years. They've made it to so many NFC championships. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers' story a little bit. Aaron Rodgers has made it to so many NFC championships.
So are the Packers better than people gave them respect for, or did the 49ers play down to the Packers level?
I think the 49ers definitely played down to the Packers level. But at the same time, too, I think nobody was expecting the Packers to swing the way that they did, especially with Aaron Jones coming back that late within the season. I mean, that dude looked like a week one Aaron Jones after recovery. I mean, he tore up the Bears. He tore up the 49ers last night.
Cowboys.
He tore up the Cowboys. Yeah, he went on a complete rant and made people put some respect on his name. And so that team is super young, and I think a lot of people overlooked that and thought that, all right, there's no Hall of Famers on this team. There's no vets on this team, so we're just going to roll right past them. But that definitely was not the case. I mean, Jordan Love, if you ask me, played like a veteran out there, especially after sitting behind Rodgers for 3-4 years. I mean, he's obviously taken a lot of the things he's done, mimic that, and you can even tell in his throwing motion, too. If you look at the mechanics and hear NFL analysts talk about it, this dude's out there looking like a prime Rodgers. And obviously, he made that really bad decision at the end of the game. But all that pressure on his back, he's still young. He still has a lot of time to develop. He's going to be a threat for many years to come. And what I just don't understand, I'm not sure if the NFL fan bases have been this toxic or what it's been. But, I mean, people were praising Jordan Love for these last 3 weeks about how good he was. And then he makes that one bad play, and everyone is eating him alive. They're comparing him to that Vikings and I don't know if it's like Saints Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
About where he was running across the field and just completely chucked it up and then threw a pick and then threw the game. Like, that's how people were comparing it to. And then now they're saying that Brock Purdy, that, he did nothing during the game. And obviously he only threw for about a little bit over 100 yards. But I mean, he's a system player, in my opinion. He's absolutely playing his role to perfection. And so NFL fan bases are so hot and cold sometimes. And even the Packers kicker, for example, him missing that one kick. He's a solid kicker. He missed that one kick.
Did you hear the head coach?
What'd he say?
When he goes out there, I just pray.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so no.
So the coach doesn't even trust him.
Yeah, no, he's not going to be their kicker next season.
Oh, no. Well, no, him and his family are receiving death threats via Instagram now by Packers fans and all these NFL fan bases. And so I'm not sure if NFL fan bases have always been this bad, but I think in the day and age of social media where everything is so accessible, that it is just out there for everyone to see live in the flesh. It's very difficult. And so him, I don't know. I mean, people, I know from personal experience with kickers with the double doinker back in 2018 where, we're about to go to the divisional and next thing you know, we hit the field goal post twice. We don't make it out of the wild card against the Eagles. And people were all over Parkey. Like, he couldn't go anywhere. And yeah, now that I say this out loud, fan bases have been like this since the dawn of time.
Yeah, it's just social media now.
It's just social media now. I mean, you're just able to see it now. But
unless you win the Super Bowl, you're going to get clowned.
Yeah, I know.
You'd be better off being on the Panthers that nobody's talking about than being the, I shouldn't say. Jordan Love's a bad example. You're better off being the Panthers than the Cowboys. Man, let me tell you.
Yeah, you're honestly right, though, because the backlash that Dak Prescott has been receiving these past 5 to 6 years, for as long as he's been a Cowboy, has been insane.
And now you have the decision. Does McCarthy stay? Okay, he's staying. How does that make the fan base feel? Panthers, everyone's fired. Everyone, great.
Everyone's
something
gone.
new. Like, they don't care. It's been so bad that the only direction you can go feels like up.
Yep.
Cowboys, like, that fan base is going to be finicky. Because you're keeping McCarthy. You got Dak Prescott, who hasn't been great for you in the playoffs. Great regular season, postseason, rough. Jerry Jones, doubling down, though. It's a tough situation to be in.
Oh, man. They are just regular season champions, I swear. Every single year, we them boys, America's team, this is our year. And then they show up to the playoffs just to be exited first round. And the thing is, too, they look so solid. So I was rooting for CD, honestly. CD Lamb is one of my favorite players in the NFL right now. And that dude is just a complete baller. Obviously, he's going to get paid this year. Do you think CD stays in the Cowboys and sees it through? Because I don't know if you saw the tweets recently, but his mom is on Facebook saying all sorts of outrageous things about Dak Prescott, which mind you, CD broke a bunch of these records this year. He was a top 3 receiver, in my opinion. And I don't know if he does that without Dak Prescott. If he had a quarterback like, I don't even know, like, I can't even make a comparison, but I think Dak, like, they have a good connection. But why does the blame always get thrown on Dak Prescott? Is it just Dak, or is it the whole team?
To me, it was the whole team. The defense gave up over 40 points.
48 against Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Who wasn't even supposed to be in the playoffs.
So let's not just all yell at Dak Prescott in the offense. You scored 32.
Right. You
would think that'd be enough. But you gave up.
It was
40.
a late 32.
Yeah, it's kind of garbage points.
Right.
But nonetheless, it's still just like one of those things where defense, there's a lot of answers that need to be had. The defense didn't show up and the offense played
subpar, right?
Yeah,
those
subpar.
2 pick sixes by Dak Prescott definitely didn't help. And if you take away those 2 pick sixes, that's 32-32 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But that's the Dak Prescott problem is, like, how come when it's on the line, you see Brock Purdy didn't play great all game, but the last drive of the game probably started raining harder than it had all night long. Like, you could hear the torrential downpour if you're watching it on TV, just 100%. Hitting tarmac and the concrete. But he makes a drive, I think there was 3 times or it was 3rd and long. He moves the sticks in pouring rain, didn't play great all game, but he makes that one crucial drive. With Dak Prescott, it's like when you need the drive, it's not there.
Right.
Beginning of the game, you need some momentum. It's not there. Like, I think they still could have won that game, but like you said, you just don't let the Packers in the door. You kick the door open for them. Now they're cooking. Now they got a lot of confidence, and you guys are shaking your head before the first quarter is even over.
Yeah, no, that was a legacy drive for both those young quarterbacks, for Brock and for Jordan Love, I think. I mean, Jordan Love, he went into that final drive, and obviously if he makes that final drive, he scores a touchdown, he's the hero. But unfortunately, he tried to do too much, and it didn't happen. But then Brock, he did his job, handed it off to McCarthy. It's not McCarthy. What's his name? Christian McCaffrey. And then McCaffrey
for the 49ers?
Yeah, for the Niners.
McCaffrey.
Kills it.
What? Say McCarthy?
I accidentally said McCarthy. I was thinking about JJ McCarthy for some reason, but yeah.
That's going to be the guy for me. Christian McCaffrey to lead that team. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see him get a ring, honestly. And I really do think it's going to be Ravens and Niners. And people were predicting that even when they played back in, what was that week? Was it Christmas, right?
It might have been Christmas. They played, it was later in Christmas, I believe.
Okay.
Last time they played where the 49ers got trounced, right? Are you talking about that game?
Yep. Yeah. Where, Lamar walked right over them. And honestly, Lamar has been looking amazing. And a lot of people back in 2018, 2017, when Lamar got drafted, didn't think it was going to be much. They were trying to trade him or create him to be a receiver rather than a quarterback. And that's why he didn't run the 40-yard dash at the combine in front of all those scouts, because he wanted them to let the league know that he's a quarterback. And then people we're still giving him stuff about that loss that he took to Derrick Henry and the Titans back in 2019 when he was MVP season. He made the Madden cover. He had an amazing season. And people after that were saying that he's washed. And then this year, you can't tell him nothing. I think he's going to win MVP this year again.
He should. If it's not him, it's
McCaffrey.
No other quarterback deserves it. Yeah, it's McCaffrey.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, with Lamar Jackson, what's impressed me is, it's kind of talking about this earlier, is he's found a way to see the green space before the snap.
Right.
Like his first few years, like he just used his legs as a weapon. He'd see it kind of open up live in action. Now he's to the point where pre-snap, he can already see where those green space is going to open. Okay. And he can pressure defenses knowing pre-snap that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this run here because I already see it's going to be there ahead of time.
Right.
Just knowing that they're going to be watching that the next time we run this play, and it's going to open up my wheel route on this side of the field. Like he's getting very good at, maybe I don't have to throw the ball 40 times a game. I can throw the ball 20 times a game and use my legs selectively, kind of what we saw JJ McCarthy do in the college football championship game.
Right.
Why put all the pressure on your arm to make all these throws and hope for no turnovers when you can utilize the run game, which the Ravens do. They have that identity,
right?
Something that, the Cowboys really should lean into in the future here too. Again, I've always kind of been one of those guys where, especially being a Bears fan, stop putting all the damn pressure on your quarterback. Like, help them out, get a run game going. Look at the Bills. How'd the Bills fix their season? They got a new OC and they figured out how to get Cook going in the run game. Now they get into the red zone. They're not just looking at Allen. Can you throw it far enough to get us a touchdown or into field goal range? Now they have a run game where they can move the sticks, consistently when they do get into that bend, don't break space for that defense.
Right.
So again, I just think when it comes to the Ravens, they're probably still the favorite, even though I did say the Bills fixed their run game a little bit. The Ravens, they just got to unlock. It feels like they can totally control any tempo of the game.
Right.
Are you Ravens? Are you thinking Ravens for this one?
I've been a Lamar fan since he's been down at Louisville. So I think that he's developed. I mean, he obviously cannot play the same way that he played in college, but the way that he's played in the NFL right now, I think he's definitely figured out how that works. And as you mentioned about the green space, I mean, his arm and his throwing ability, I'm not sure if you saw many of those Texans highlights, but he just looked like a complete natural out there. And he's jumping around, throwing the ball in between linemen. He's over there doing read options, juke people out. He is just extremely elusive. He doesn't get injured that much, knock on wood. I mean, he's a tough dude. And I think he's changed the league for the better, in my opinion. I mean, 5-6 years ago, we're not talking about throwing the ball 20 times and using your legs for the rest. People thought you were going to get killed like that. And obviously Lamar, he's rewritten how quarterbacks can approach the game from here into the future. I mean, there's so many kids out there that were at number 8 just because of that guy. And, that's the reason I actually wore number 8 in high school as well, is because Lamar, because that was a beast.
Yeah, and he definitely, like you said, kind of inspired a generation. Because after the RG3 running quarterback thing, I think a lot
RG3
of people,
sent us back a few years with that.
A lot of, rightfully so. Like, this thing went horribly wrong.
Right.
But Lamar Jackson shows there's a way to kind of do it to keep yourself safe at the same time. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to our first break here. This is the Niko Project. The host is always to my left, Harrison, on the 1s and 2s back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a little bit.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
I'm thinking, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I used to be a weight guy. I used to love weight.
You ain't never been a weight guy. That's a lie.
Let me tell you something.
You've never been a weight guy.
I was in a 300-pound club
no,
in
sir.
high school.
Yes. No, sir. Are you kidding
yes.
me? That 315 pounds would have sent him through the. It'd have been 6 feet under trying to figure out how to get up out that hole.
That's how
you ain't never been nowhere near that platform to get up there for lifter of the year. You.
I don't want to be lifter of the year. I want to be the player of the year. You want to be a lifter of the year when you want to be the player of the year. Nobody care about weights.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
Their age?
The way they speak. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J.
DPGM, what are you going to do to Caleb Williams? What are you going to do? You going to draft him?
No.
You're not going to draft him?
No, I don't. Here's my thing. I don't want anybody going. I'm not going to bring poison into my program because that's what it would be. He's letting you know he's poison. He's venom. Why would I put poison in my own soup?
Maybe you think you're a mongoose. You can't.
I have zero.
You're a mongoose. You can take the cobra venom.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer or you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket here live, 1 to 2 p.m. on the Niko Project. On our last segment, we were diving deep into a few of the different variety topics of the NFL, what games are like, how the game has changed within recent years. One of the big topics we were talking about was CTE. Is it real? All the documentaries, all the footage, and the way that the NFL has changed because of CTE with helmets, with the new tackling rules about getting hit in the head, different varieties of things like that. We were also talking about Lamar Jackson. We talked about the Bills, who we think is going to make it to the Super Bowl, the way Jordan Love has, played throughout these playoffs, the Packers being such a young team. And so something that we're going to get into in this next topic, well, first and foremost, as our Chicago Bears fans, we got to pay homage to what's going to happen within the Justin Fields situation. With Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots, I feel like that dude still has a few years in him. I don't really know if, he's going to be able to sit on his couch and just watch the NFL take over. I think that dude has a few more years in him. And I would hate, as a Bears fan, absolutely hate to see Justin Fields go. But if there was anywhere that he would go to, Atlanta would be a great place for him. One, because that's where he's from. He want to have no more homesickness here in Chicago. Two, he'd have a lot of great teammates. That running back, I forgot his name. Bijan Robinson, the tight end, Kyle Pitts. That defense is super young. They got a few studs on that team. I think that he would absolutely thrive there. Do I think he can kill it in Chicago? Absolutely. I think we're in the right direction of doing things, but I don't believe that upper management believes in Fields' abilities the way that I don't think that he gets treated fairly, in my opinion. I think him and Lamar Jackson are two very similar players. I believe that their play styles are very different, but Justin Fields, he is a little bit younger than Lamar Jackson. I think you give him some more time. If I was me personally, but I'm not an NFL GM. I'm just a dude talking on the radio here in college. Harrison, what do you think about the situation? We talked about it a lot, but what do you think?
Yeah, everyone's got a number. I keep saying that.
A number?
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain point if someone offers you a ridiculous offer for Justin Fields, it's hard not to take it.
Right.
You want Marvin Harrison, you can probably go ahead, get Caleb Williams, trade away Justin Fields, get back into it, and maybe grab that third pick.
Right.
And then you can grab Marvin Harrison on top of Caleb Williams. So there is a number out there. You obviously want to maybe get some second rounders involved with that as well. You probably have to give up another late pick, but you get a couple of second rounders, mid to early second round. That might make it worth it. Personally, I'd love to see Fields stay just because another quarterback, we've seen it enough.
We can't do no more quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Bro.
I don't know if that's going to fix everything. Like seeing what Caleb Williams does well, the scrambling, the adding extra time in the pocket, those are things Fields does pretty well. Accuracy-wise, Williams is better. Using the legs, extending plays, Fields is better. So you're kind of giving and taking with that. So to me, ideally, unless I'm getting a king's ransom, I'm keeping Fields.
King's ransom.
Yeah, like there's got to be a lot on the table that not only can I get Caleb Williams, I can get some more additional pieces, key pieces in this draft.
100%.
Not next year's draft. Like I need him now.
Yeah, I need him now. I need Marvin Harrison in our wide receiver room with DJ Moore, with Darnell Mooney, with Kyle. I'm drawing a blank on all these players. Who's our tight end? Yeah, Cole Kmet. Yes, Cole Kmet. With our guys, we have a very young and talented wide receiver room, quarterback room with Justin Fields. I like our running back situation right now. I love our defense. Our defense has never been a problem. It's just always been our offense. So like as you mentioned before, you always have these random Hall of Famers coming in throughout the Chicago Bears organization, like Peanut Tillman, like Brian Urlacher, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, and then you even throw Khalil Mack in there. That was crazy. That dude, the first ever game, played lights out, and so becomes a Chicago legend instantly. And so, but we can never figure it out on offense, and upper management has always been seeming to screw us, except for those 1985 Bears. But I mean, who even remembers that? I mean, they obviously had one of the best defenses, one of the best running backs of all time. We were just completely unstoppable, but that was 1985, bro. It's 2024 now. We need to switch things up. We need to change it up,
Mm-hmm. Do you like Eberflus coming back for year 2?
Yes. Do you?
It makes me think they're keeping Fields.
That's what I think too. I mean, one of those, they said that one of these two. I saw a tweet and it said one of these two guys are not going to be back next year, and so he's already stayed, and so it's scary because I'm like, okay, if one of them not coming back, is Fields the guy? But in my eyes, it almost seems as though they're going to keep both.
Yeah, I think you would get a new coach if you're going to clean slate and get a new QB as well.
Right.
Because obviously the first coach and the first QB didn't work.
Right.
But they're doubling down on Eberflus. So to me, that's saying they trust in Fields and Eberflus, and they do think it's going to get better. We trust in Eberflus, not Fields.
Right.
You could look at that multiple different ways, but that's the way I'm seeing it. I think they look at those two pieces. Obviously, there's going to be phone calls. There might still be a trade to be had, but I think the original thought process going into it is we actually think these two guys can work together. No, we can fix this.
100%. 100%. So
what's your expected win total
for next year?
Yeah.
Do we get Marvin Harrison?
We get Marvin Harrison.
We get Marvin Harrison.
Quarterback is to be decided.
We're going to be 10 to 12 wins. I think with that experienced defense coming back, Jalen, what's his name? Jalen, who's that? Number 33.
I'm not going to look it up. You're killing me.
What's his name, bro?
402-464-5685. I'm not looking it up.
Jalen something, absolute dog. I think our defensive line is finally figuring it out. Linebacker core, We have and then number nine as well. Forgot his name too. Absolute beast, hilarious, heck of a character. We'll get anywhere from 9 to 12 wins. And
Yeah,
I'll be
I'm still
okay
thinking
with
that.
that.
That's really bothering me.
The Packers have made it. Packers made it with 9 wins.
Yeah, and one of the younger teams we've seen in a long time.
Exactly.
Do you get worried about the Packers dominating the NFC North?
Yes, 100%. No, actually, I'm worried about the whole entire NFC North at this point because
Lions
Detroit has been poverty for as long as I can remember growing up. I was born in 2002, and anything past that, I've never thought about the Detroit Lions unless it came to Matthew Stafford and Megatron, aka Calvin Johnson. That's the only 2 times I've ever thought about them. Now I'm fearful of the Lions. And the Bears, we always have a one-up on the Lions. This year, I think that we definitely shouldn't have beat them twice. We gave up like 16 points or something in the fourth quarter and ended up losing.
Yeah. And
then we obviously beat them the second time. And then, now they're still in their playoff run doing their thing. But the Packers, bro, the Packers have always had a one-up on us. The Jari Alexander, love that dude. He's on the Packers, the only Packers player. Like, he is an absolute clown. He's hilarious. And he was like, man, he's like, my life's great. He's like, life probably sucks for you if you're a Bears fan or something.
Yeah, I heard that.
that interview was hilarious, but it's honestly been hard because anytime you play the Packers, you just hold your breath and hope some type of miracle happens because they always just find a way to win. And it's always been like that with Rodgers. It's always been like that to current day, and for as long as I can remember. And the Vikings, they're hit or miss, but they're hot and cold. This year they were looking bad, but I mean, these last few years, the Vikings miracle that one time, and they always find their way in the playoffs, the end of the mix of things. So yeah, we're gonna have to make a statement this upcoming year. So
yeah, the NFC North is getting better.
100%.
The Vikings got good management, so I think they'll be back. The Vikings consistently have had pretty good management.
Right.
I think they'll actually be back quicker than later next season. So you're already kind of looking at the Bears as like one of the bottom teams in the NFC North.
I know.
Unless it all depends on this draft. That's why this draft is huge for any Bears fan out there because you kind of got to nail this one. And I say it all the time with Husker football. I don't want to wait. Like, you got enough players. Go win games. No more of this development year stuff.
Yeah.
Especially even if you get, a young quarterback. I don't care. Just go 500. Like, I just got to see some winning football.
What did we go last year? 7 and 10?
No, I don't even think we got 7.
No, we got 7.
Let's look at up here. Bears win totals.
I think it was 7 and 10. It was 7 and 9, 7 and 10.
Okay, yeah.
7 and 10?
They actually got
8. 8 and 10, right? So 8 and 10, Chicago Bears. Then Green Bay Packers. Obviously, we needed to beat them to knock them out of the playoffs. And unfortunately, we lost the one game that counted. And it was a legacy game in my eyes for Justin Fields. It was a huge game for his career. And unfortunately, he did not pull away. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this year, 7 and 10, 2022, 3 and 14, 2021, 6 and 11, 2020 was 8 and 8. So that was our last 500 year. It was 8 and 8, 2020 year, and then of course 2019, same thing, 8 and 8. 2018, probably the last best year.
I'm still sad about that year.
Yeah, 12 and 4. That was probably the last great year to be a Bears fan.
Dude, it was so fun that year being a Bears fan, dude. I mean, we were like, we're going to the bowl. That defense had the most interceptions in the league. That defense was amazing, and we lost everybody after that. After that, everybody left, and it was downhill. We had Mitch playing like a superstar. I still don't know what went into that decision of us getting Mr. Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. No idea why. Mitch barely even played at NC State. I think
Chiefs got lucky. Let's be real. Chiefs would have made the same mistake.
But the Chiefs with that wide receiver core was insane, dude. They had Watkins. They had Tyreek. They had obviously Kelsey. They had, I think, even had some other guys too. They were just like 11 dudes deep at the receiver core, and with the gunslinger of himself, Patrick Mahomes, back-to-back MVP seasons, always making it to the Super Bowl, and he already has 2 Super Bowl rings. So
yeah,
could he have done
Alex
that for
Smith there to learn under 2, which I think helped a lot.
Right. Shout out to him. I mean, he had comeback player of the year right after the injury.
Yeah. Do you think this is the route that more QBs need to go now? Because we're seeing it with the Packers. We talked about just quarterback after quarterback. They seem to watch and then play well. With Mahomes, he watched Alex Smith, then played well. Do you think this is a pattern that more teams should try to practice?
I mean, who did CJ Stroud mimic?
Watson.
That's a crazy take. He mimicked Watson and did absolutely nothing like Watson. He just went above and beyond. I think that only works for the Packers, in my opinion, because Mahomes, he was a sensational player like that even in college. I mean, you saw him doing the turn the body half sidearm throw like that in college for no reason. I mean, he wasn't getting his shoulders downfield. He just knew he had a natural arm, and he was a baseball player. So I mean, some guys just have it, in my opinion. I think Jordan Love, he just had it. Rodgers had it. Favre just had it. obviously, yes, it does help to get mentored in a way, but I mean, some dudes just do that. I mean, who did Fields have to come in and mimic? I mean, he had to kind of make his own path, and even Lamar Jackson, for example. I mean, the stuff that these guys bring to the table, you can't mimic. I think if a quarterback comes in right now and sits behind Mahomes, yeah, he'll be able to mimic Mahomes and do that. But I think in recent years, we haven't seen that. The only time I can ever think about that is the Rodgers situation with Love coming in behind him.
Yeah, that seems to be kind of the pattern. What do you think about Trey Lance? I know he hasn't been talked about. Cowboys.
Snap. He's not even on the Niners no more. Where did he go?
He's on the Cowboys.
He's on the Cowboys.
Is there a
sitting behind
chance?
Dak.
That's what I'm saying. Is there a chance that we see Trey Lance make some?
It's pro time.
That's right. We got the NFL playoff game. So all those, we're just streaming only. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo, channel 961, streaming only. But Trey Lance, do we think we see him next year?
I would like to see Trey. It's unfortunate what happened to him with the whole 49ers situation, having to get let go. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. I think that injuries that has held him back a little bit. But I would like to see him out there, but I do not think that the Cowboys would give him the shot that he needs. I think he sits for a few more years, pops out of nowhere. But I think right now the Cowboys are in a now state with Jerry Jones, the age that he is, and CeeDee Lamb killing it the way that he is. I think you're still riding out this Dak Prescott train for as long as humanly possible until they just have fed up. And they'll probably get another, big time quarterback, probably some type of blockbuster trade, in my opinion. But I don't think that Cowboy Nation is trusting Trey Lance as a starter. As a backup, they love him. As a starter, I just don't think they do. What are your opinion on that?
I think you're right. I'm wondering if there's a meltdown game from Prescott early season.
Right.
Like if the Cowboys come out the gate sloppy,
he's gone.
Cowboys are going to be in a world of trouble. And I think it does start with Prescott and Trey Lance.
Right.
Maybe they see what Trey Lance can do. But
I don't know.
Again, I don't know what he looks like at practice, considering, his time on the field for the 49ers. Maybe it's just one of those things that it's not going to work out for him. So maybe we never actually see him suit up and start for a game unless there's an injury. Or like I said, Prescott has like a meltdown towards the beginning of the season. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to our final break here on the Niko Project. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s, of course. Niko, the host, is always to my left. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Be sure and call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technician will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400. Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting on September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. I'm Matt Knipe with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand that no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live on the Niko Project from 1 to 2 p.m. every single Sunday. We're going to be here for about 3.5 more minutes, but to give a short little coverage review of what we talked about here in some previous of our previous segments. We started off things talking about Jordan Love and the 49ers last night, about that game, what that was like, and then we transitioned a little bit into CTE, to Antonio Brown and his NFL career, different things along that. And then, last segment we talked about the Chicago Bears, what they should be doing as a franchise, different quarterbacks, franchise tagging people, and different things like that. And so to cover out our NFL little Sunday in honor of the Super Bowl and the playoff games going today, by the way, go Detroit Lions. I'd love to see them go up to the NFC Championship. I think that'd be great for the city of Detroit. Baker Mayfield being on the Cleveland Browns, fresh out of college in Oklahoma. He obviously had a legendary career in college, killed it, won the Heisman, did absolutely everything that he could for that city, for that town. And so he comes to the NFL and he's not performing as people expected, but at the same time, too, the Browns franchise and the Browns organization has made some questionable decisions throughout the years. You saw Odell Beckham's career take a stagnant pause for a little bit after the Giants, and then when he went to the Browns. Yeah, and then even Jarvis Landry, too. And once he got from Miami to Cleveland, he really wasn't playing the same. And so for wide receivers and quarterbacks, it really is just not a place where a lot of receivers can thrive. And then he leaves, goes to the Rams on a blockbuster trade, leads them to a game-winning drive, and everyone is like, all right, Baker Mayfield, he has that guy. He has potential. Leaves the Rams, and then he goes to the Buccaneers and absolutely lights people on fire in the playoffs. And a few times during the season, he was on my fantasy team, and he really didn't do much when I needed him to. But then randomly in the playoffs, he just decides to be an absolute beast, looking like Tom Brady out there. What are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield's career so far here in the NFL, being traded throughout team to team? Do you think that Buccaneers is the home for Baker?
Yeah, I'm all in on Baker Mania.
Tampa Baker.
He plays with a chip on his shoulder.
He does.
And I love it. I just like watching him play.
He's a competitor, bro. He gets
energy.
fired up. I don't know if you've seen that clip where he got knocked out of bounds on a late hit, and he gets up and he's just running, hitting his head with his helmet. I'm like, yo, this dude's a maniac. I like this guy.
The best compliment I can give Baker Mayfield is it still feels like, and I don't like Oklahoma, but I appreciated the way he played the game.
Right.
He still looks like college Baker Mayfield.
100%.
Like the level of passion he has for the game and how much fun he has out there. Like, it looks like he's still in college. Like, I'm still waiting for him to bring out the Buccaneers flag to the middle of the field
and stomping in the middle of the field. Oh, man.
He's just so fun to watch.
He was fun to watch in college. He's fun to watch right now. And like you said, he's a super passionate player. And the NFL position of a quarterback is the most difficult position in all of sports, in my opinion. I mean, if you can't agree with that, you got to talk to somebody, because the NFL quarterbacks have to deal with so much. They get all the hate, all the love, all the pressures on them. If your quarterback is not providing the team any value, your team is not going to be that successful unless you have a solid running back in the backfield. And so this has been the Niko Project today here live. And so thank you guys all for watching. As I said before, we're going to be here live every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. talking sports, talking track, talking NFL football. So we're going to tap in with you guys next Sunday after these playoff games commence. But in my opinion, go Chiefs. I want to see Lamar in the Super Bowl. We'll see what the Buccaneers and Detroit is talking about tonight. And we'll catch you guys next Sunday. Peace out.